evening from Los Angeles, California. I'm Dr. Ryan Ava. Now in their 7th week after the death of Mahsa Amini in morality police custody, both the capital and in other cities, protesters continue to risk their lives as militiamen fire tear gas and live ammunition at them. The fascist and barbaric Islamic regime has now charged around 1,000 people with unrest for taking part in the women's rights and anti-government protests. The accused now face mass trials which are pre-scripted with forced confessions, part of the regime's long-time propaganda and fear-mongering strategy. Nationwide demonstrations have continued despite the crackdowns by security forces. Human rights activists say nearly 300 people have been killed, which is an extremely conservative figure. The indictments will be the first major legal move aimed at silencing dissent.
We can look at this with activist Negin Shirakai. Welcome to DW. What should we expect to see from these trials?
We've seen them before in 2009 after the disputed presidential election. The process is quite unfair. So what the Iranian government has done throughout years is they created a list of lawyers that are loyal to them, and such cases can be only advocated by them. So people have really limited access to the proper justice, and the lawyers they can choose are already linked to the government. And this is really worrying for us at the moment. We have cases that they are really severe punishment for something as simple as having a text talking about something like around violence, not even why, the text itself doesn't even address or saying like you should do violence, but even the wordings get as close as possible, then the cases becomes really severe. And we are really worried that there would be execution, because Iran is one of those countries that have the highest level of executions each year around the world. So it would be televised. That's another aspect of it, because they want to create this kind of fear in the public that if you don't listen to us, if you don't stay inside the houses, we would do, brutal things to you. But
so just forgive me for interrupting. Just to be clear, there is a possibility of death sentences being imposed for taking part in these riots.
Yeah, definitely, because the way they are building these cases, I've been in touch with some families in Iran that are trying to find a proper lawyer for their children. But like, for example, one case is just a mention of a friend of his saying to the boy that we should go and, create a cocktail Molotov or something. And there's nothing else in it. But even mentioning that, even as a joke, became a massive part of his case. And now the lawyers are saying he has to sign something and say he's, condemning all of these. And that's, we know that would going to lead to quite severe punishment at the end. And the execution, unfortunately, and death penalty is part of that.
And you mentioned that these trials, these mass trials, are to be televised. Are they therefore likely to deter protesters who are still out there on the streets?
By the look of it, no. Like all of these families that I'm in contact with, still they are going on the streets. If they cannot go and protest in person, they go on the rooftops every night and shout and, slogans. And that's why we are seeing a lot of pictures of the Iranian forces throwing tear gas in the middle of night at buildings in Iran. So feels like people are really frustrated, and no matter how much the crackdown and brutality is continuing, people are finding ways to go out and show their protest. It's been 6 weeks. Nobody expected it to last this long. Every night, every day, there are protests across the countries. They're limited now. Their numbers are not like 300 cities at the same time. It's like 20 to 30 cities, but all of the universities around the country, they are having a lot of protests, and the students are being arrested every night.
OK, thank you so much for joining us. That's activist Negin Shirakai.
To support my work, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Also, please don't forget to hit the bell icon so you wouldn't miss any of my new videos. Thanks for watching.